We start off with some breaking news. Today, Trump's dog Major viciously attacked an African-American White House lawn worker. The attack has raised questions on the president's stances about racism, anti-trans hate, police brutality, fascism, the KKK, and more. This report was leaked to the media and first reported on by News 7's very own Luke Boyer, and he joins us now on the phone. Hello, Luke, and thank you for joining us on the show.
Absolutely, Adam. Thank you for having me.
So, this story was just reported on by you just earlier today. Could you give us some further details on the story?
Well, absolutely. It was an African-American lawn worker, and the dog can be seen on security camera footage charging the man, and later the dog can be seen jumping on the man, and he falls to the ground, and the dog's clearly about to, just inflict serious damage, if not worse. But fortunately, the man was able to push him away and go on with his work with surprising composure, actually, as if nothing really that big had happened. But obviously this man had a lot of courage, being, African American and having to deal with hatred and inequality all day, every day.
And it can, of course, be assumed that the attacked man was African American?
Absolutely. We actually didn't bother to check if the man's African American or not, but it's obvious he is, so we didn't, we're pretty busy here unbiasedly reporting on the news, so we don't have time for the minor details.
And as we mentioned before, this is raising questions about Trump's stances on other issues.
Yes, absolutely. Racism, anti-trans hate, police brutality, white supremacy, homicide, fascism, all that stuff has come under question in light of this, in light of the events, pretty much all the events of Mr. Trump's pseudo-presidency, which he stole from Hillary Clinton. But really, this is just another manifestation of the president's beliefs on those issues.
Well, that is all the time we have for now. Luke, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Dr. Fauci had this to say about the attack.
First of all, I think it's important to note that the dog was within 6 feet of a person and wasn't even wearing one mask, let alone two. This sort of conduct cannot be excused and will only prolong our fight against this virus. It is absolutely imperative that everyone follow all of my advice to the letter if we ever want to beat this pandemic. Please stand with me. There's a hashtag Biden-Harris 2020.
The FBI is conducting an investigation of Major's doghouse and is expected to find evidence of a Trump collusion with Russia during the 2016 presidential election. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we start off with a somewhat startling but unverified report that President Biden's dog Major was involved in a biting incident with a White House lawn care worker. With us is one of our favorite guests to report on the situation. It is Luke Boyer, the executive objective journalist for News 7. Luke, thanks for being on again.
Yes, sir. Sources have revealed that president's dog, he was involved in an incident that occurred on the White House lawn. A lawn care worker on the grounds was bitten shortly after security camera footage revealed Major running towards the man. Some fringe, right-wing conspiracy theorists have suggested that the dog actually bit the man, intending to do actual harm. But as our article talks about, Jen Psaki later confirmed that this was simply a startled reaction on the part of Major to see that the man was not wearing a mask.
Wow, a White House lawn care worker was not properly protecting himself and others from this virus. That is truly startling.
Absolutely, and I think that's why Major's behavior was absolutely imperative. I think he did really the only thing that he could do to stop that threat, putting his life on the line, facing someone that could possibly have been infected. This person may not have been vaccinated, and so the dog just did the first thing that came to his mind that he knew would save lives and save his community.
Major is an absolutely incredible dog, but I would expect no less from a dog owned by such an incredible man like Joe Biden. Such a strong figure he is to win this election legitimately and non-questionably from Donald Trump.
From pseudo-president Donald Trump, who we all know, with the help of Russia, stole the election from Hillary Clinton. But it's good to see, now we're back to those secure elections that the people of our democracy really want to see.
And of course, we do know why the Russians did collude to take the election 2016. We know they fear Biden. I mean, look at the examples just in this first year of his presidency. I mean, for example, the G7 summit. I mean, you can see how tough he's been on the Russians, and that's why they didn't want him in office either. Thankfully, last year in 2020, we were able to overcome that, the American people. And with Biden now in office, I see a bright future for this country.
Absolutely, and you could tell just the situational awareness he had at that summit. You could tell that just all the rest of the world leaders knew they could never measure up to that.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Luke. Like I said, you're one of our favorite guests.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.
News 7 reached out to the White House for comment on the situation. They have not responded yet, but of course they are under no obligation to.